Another one. Another one. Touchdown Jags! Ball game!
Another Jags podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to another Jags podcast, episode 46, creeping up on episode 50. It's more of a joyous occasion tonight because the Jaguars won 6-0 over the Indianapolis Colts. We'll take, after a 7-game losing streak, I lost count. Was it 7 games? Yeah, you'll take a win any way you can get it, and that's exactly what we did this past week. Won our first divisional game, so no goose egg there, which is nice as well. And we're going to get into this as we continue to talk, but I'm not sure if you feel good about this game.
I'm just glad we won.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we won.
Yeah. So we'll get into that more in a bit. Before we do, as always, we want to remind everyone that we are on Twitter at Another Jags Pod, Facebook and Instagram at Another Jags Podcast. We're even on YouTube. You can search us at Another Jags Podcast. SoundCloud, iTunes, all that good stuff. If you're listening to us and have subscribed to us, thank you so much. If you know people that would like to listen to us who are Jags fans, share us if you would. Spread the word. We'd love for the support. We have with us tonight myself, Jason, and Joey is en route. He should be here momentarily, so if it sounds like I'm stalling, I am.
Legend has it he's en route.
Yes,
we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. What exactly 10 minutes out means Joey time, we're not quite sure, but it's getting late, so we've gotten started. Really what we're going to do tonight, as we've done in the past, is basically base this episode around the Twitter questions that we received. We got a lot of good ones, and y'all are basically asking the same things that we are asking. So we are going to listen to you tonight, and we'll give you our feedback and whatever answers we may have. So that's kind of what we're going to do. We will, I guess, preview a little bit of the Titans-Jags game that's coming up quickly. So this Thursday night, road game, the only primetime game that the Jaguars have this year. They did have two, but that one got taken from us. And so we'll talk briefly about that as, I don't know, not exactly going to be a barn burner, I don't think.
I mean, if 6-0 is any indication of what the future looks like, then, it's not like you're going to get everyone back after 4 days. So,
no.
We're probably looking at this similar squad.
You better have a cup of coffee because the game itself is not going to keep you up.
It's just funny. We posted on Twitter, like, the Pro Football Focus grades for the offense. And just looking at the people on the list, you're like, wow. If anyone would have guessed any of those players had been on the roster in the preseason,
yeah,
I'm talking like Eric Flowers, the highest rated offensive player. Patrick Omame was up there. Blake Bell, Carlos Hyde. You're just like, what? Like, where? Cody Kessler? Like, man, that's not good.
Here's a question for you since you brought his name up. First, Eric Flowers. How do you think he's been playing so far?
The offense was so simple. It was so simple. I mean, it was just dump down the running backs and run the ball. That's all it was. Like,
sounds familiar, actually.
I don't think there was even a chance for him to even prove if he was good or bad. I mean, it kind of seemed like when you were watching it that Kessler was like under distress every time he was throwing it. But went back and watched the film, and it was like snap, 3-step drop, check down, which may be our best plan. But I mean, we didn't even score a touchdown, so I mean, it's hard to.
Didn't turn the ball. Well, no, we did turn the ball over, but not through the air. Kessler didn't turn the ball over.
He had one that probably should have been intercepted in the first half,
yep.
And then he had a fumble. He got lucky. He recovered. So, however you want to look at it, he didn't turn it. So
yep.
It's
There's been several times you could have said that with Bortles too.
That's true. That's true.
So you have to go with the facts, and he didn't turn it over.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Flowers to me has been better than I thought, just because he was so terrible in New York. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be the starter next year or even the backup, but I think he's been better than I thought he was going to be. I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not.
He's better than you would think a fourth left tackle would be
right.
on your depth chart. That's kind of. I think it's where we're at.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So, what do you think? I think we can go ahead and answer a question. And
yeah, sure. We'll see.
Not?
Yeah, we'll see if Joey shows up.
Yeah, he said he was going to be here in 3 minutes. So we'll see if he's here by the time we answer this next question.
All right, so we're going to Twitter. And again, thanks, guys. All these questions were awesome. And we're going to try to get through all of them because they were all really, really good. We want to start with this one. This one's from Ethan Cador.
Okay.
Kador, I don't know.
Yeah.
Looks like Kador. And he's at Ethan_Kador. And
Is it
he's
with a K?
C.
Okay.
So
I don't know. I'm just curious.
Sudor, maybe?
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
just kidding.
Sidore?
So he says, well, a win against a division rival is always good, but it kind of sucks because it screws up our draft order. Do y'all think it is best if the team loses out or still competes and wins 2 more games?
That's a lofty assumption that he thinks that we're going to win 2 more games. I would say 1. I think the last home game of the season against Washington is a very winnable game for the Jags. After that, I think they're all up in the air. Again, we can get to that later. His question is my inner monologue to myself throughout the game. I mean, it is a debate that I am constantly fighting myself. And I have to say, and I hate saying this because I want the Jags to win. I want them to win. And maybe if they had gone out and won 24-10 or 24-17 or something like that, I would have been a little more excited. But this game, 6-0, 2 field goals. And I love Lambo. I'm not knocking him at all. He won us the game, along with the defense, obviously. But I almost thought, I think I would have rather lost than lose draft order in that fashion, at least offensively. And the reason is because that game, again, from an offensive perspective, which is, we all know that's been the problem this year, gave me zero hope for the future. And yet we won. So we took a 1 step forward and 2 steps back, I think, by winning that game. If we want to get, and this is a question that we'll answer later, but if we want to draft a quarterback in this coming up draft, in the 2019 draft, I hate saying this, but losing is the way to do that. And, a 6-0 win just doesn't do it for me. So I don't really have a solid answer. I want them to win, but at the same time, my mind, my brain, I've already gone to the offseason. I'm thinking offseason already. So I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, Jason, but I'll let you answer it.
Yeah, I think you do. I think you do. I mean, okay, first of all, I loved shutting out the Colts. You know how I feel about the Colts.
You're not a fan.
And to see them not score a point was amazing. It was beautiful. I had to hear all week about how Andrew Luck is amazing and how the Colts are going to dominate the AFC South now that Luck's back, and how Luck has been tearing it up through the air and he's back and all this stuff. And then I got to see the Jags shut him out, which is beautiful. We had 2 crucial 4th down stops, which basically won us the game for the defense. 3?
Yeah.
3. We had 3.
Sure it was 3.
Okay. I remember one on the goal line, which they got a field goal, and then the penalty brought them closer to the goal line, and then they ended up not getting it, which was awesome. And then in like the end of the second half, I think, they also went for it on 4th and 1. Couldn't get it. So the best thing for me was the defense finally played like we thought they were going to play all year. Yannick Ngakoue finally woke up and played well. The linebackers finally tackled. They were flying around. They were playing with passion. They were hitting hard. That's what I've been wanting to see all year from the defense, and they finally showed it this game. So that kind of gives me like hope that next season we will be all right. You know, because I was kind of worried that maybe it was fluky. It was a fluky year for the defense. But, man, the defense we saw on Sunday was the defense that we saw all of last year.
Right.
And Ronnie Harrison played an amazing game.
Except for one play.
One stupid bonehead play.
Right.
Yeah. And you can't really blame the refs because the team's coming off of a brawl.
Mm-hmm.
So anything like that, they're going to flag. And I'm sure they told both teams that right off the rip. But I don't want to see us lose games ever. And there are other ways to draft a quarterback. You can trade up, you know. And so if you really want a quarterback, you can go get one. But I would rather see the team play well and finish the year strong and just at least have a little momentum. Like, we're so injured on the offense, I know they're going to be awful. I mean, look at those guys that we were putting out there. So I'm just happy that we looked a little bit like we did last year.
All right, and to his word, Joey has arrived. So let's hear your thoughts, Joey. What do you think?
I want to keep seeing them winning. I just hate when they lose. I hate when the Colts tank that season to get Luck. And I think we can gain a lot from what we saw this past weekend and them winning more games. I want to see the players that don't play a lot, the rookies in there, all that, but win some games. Go for it. Got to keep playing hard.
Okay, well, I get that, but let me ask you this because you weren't here when I said this. Did this last game give you hope?
Absolutely.
How so?
Harrison. I mean, why hasn't that guy been playing the past 3 or 4 games? It showed,
or maybe the whole season.
Exactly. I mean, it showed a lot of what we have that we need to get rid of, like Hyde. That guy's not the guy. I think that's obvious at this point. I think Hayden is
Really that quickly? You ready to turn the page on him?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I mean, that quickly.
Wait, you at the beginning of this season, you were all in on Bortles after 4 seasons of below mediocre play.
But this guy's a 6-year running back.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a quarterback. It's not rocket science, man. Either you can or you can't. I mean, I know our line sucks, but it's more pass blocking. I think they're okay at run blocking, and he has shown nothing. Again,
yeah.
This past game, Hayden, I think he's way more important to our defense than we ever gave him credit for. So we know that now. And I'd like to see Kessler play out the rest of the season and see what we got with him.
I mean, Yeldon wasn't that much better than Hyde, though.
No, he wasn't.
I mean, Hyde averaged 2.8 yards per carry. Yeldon averaged 2.0 yards per carry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not impressed with him either.
Well, and you have to think that the Colts went in saying we're going to make Cody Kessler beat us.
Mm-hmm.
So the odds were stacked against the running backs to do much in that game. I'm not sure if that's a game you judge Carlos Hyde on, honestly.
Yeah, given the offensive line as well.
Right, and he came in not to be the number 1. He's a number 2 back.
But he fumbled the first. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he did.
That was, I mean, yeah. That
Again,
was tough, though.
Keep the rest of the games, keep playing him, give him lots of snaps. I'm fine with that. And he might prove me wrong, but I think that's the point of the rest of the season, which is what we're going to get out of it. But yeah, I want him to win. I want them to try the hardest they can. Otherwise, that you don't get that information and it's not valid.
Well, I agree, and I think defensively you're absolutely right. Both of y'all mentioned Ronnie Harrison. I mean he should have been playing a lot longer than just his last couple weeks. I mean I don't know the snap count, Jason. I'm sure you do. Taven Bryan, he didn't seem like he was out there a ton. I mean at least just from my eye test, he may have been more than I thought. But just offensively, I don't know. I mean when you don't score a touchdown, you're hardly moving the ball. I didn't walk away from that game going, all right, we're going to be okay offensively. Defensively, yes, as Jason said earlier, I agree 100%. Like, okay, that was Jacksonville Jaguars defense. Pressure the quarterback, get turnovers. I mean, Smoot, great game. You know, that was encouraging. But I think obviously the person that we were most encouraged by was Unique because he looked like 2017 Unique.
Absolutely, and Jalen stepped up again. I mean, again,
Jalen doesn't step up. Jalen just plays. That's Jalen playing.
Yeah, that's Jalen every week.
Right. He did not play like that the first half of the season.
Uh,
And he said he wasn't even going to play, but he did, and he played well. He's redeemed himself completely as far as his attitude. Guy's a beast.
All right, just for the information we have, Taven Bryan played in 25 snaps. That's 33% of the defensive snaps. Smoot played in 39 snaps. That's 51% of the defensive snaps.
All right.
And Ronnie Harrison played in every defensive snap.
There you go. So did
100%.
Church play at all?
Church did not play at all.
Telling.
How about that?
Telling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Harrison looked good, too.
Did he look
Harrison looked good. I think people are getting a little high on Smoot. He's okay.
He had a good game.
He comes in and
He had the second most pressures of anybody on the team.
did he look any different than Fowler, McCray, or anyone you plug into that spot? I mean, he looked good, but when you got that defensive line around you, you're going to get pressures.
No, but you have to consider the context of Smoot. He was a healthy scratch the first half of the season.
Yeah.
So in terms of that, like I was very pleased with him. I thought, we discussed like where's Smoot earlier in the season. They weren't even playing him. So for him to come in and produce, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think he's that solid backup that we don't really have. I mean, he's your go-to guy, maybe not, but that's the guy you want on your team when somebody gets hurt. You stick him in, and he's gonna play well. And he did that. Plus, he's got a really cool name, Smoot.
Yeah.
I mean,
DeJuan Smoot.
yeah, exactly. Can't knock that.
All right, I guess we can stay on this theme of Carlos Hyde because there's a question specifically about him. This is from Michael Harrison. He's at Loves Cougars. He says, "What are your thoughts on Hyde? Will he be able to split carries with Fournette more evenly at some point? I'm more referring to the Pitt game where Lenny had like 28 carries, but there has been a gradual increase with Hyde's touches. However, he was only split with TJ."
Did he call Leonard Lenny?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I like that. From now on, I'm calling him Lenny.
Lenny
Way to go.
Fournette.
I don't think they are ever going to do split carry. Not when Leonard Fournette is healthy in the game. He is the premier back. I think he's going to be a number 2. I think they keep him. They gave up a 5th round pick for him. It's not like they got him for free. 5th round pick is a valuable pick. You can get guys then. So I think they're going to keep him around, and hopefully go into next year with those two. I don't see Yeldon staying because I don't think they're going to want to pay the price to keep him as a 3rd running back. So he'll probably be gone. And you're looking at Carlos Hyde being the TJ Yeldon for Leonard Fournette. And I do like that better. I'm not sure if he compares in pass blocking. Yeldon's a good pass blocker, but I think they're pretty comparable in all other aspects of the game. And I would say just pure rushing, Hyde's got an advantage.
For sure. But you think he catches the ball out of the backfield as well as Yeldon?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. And pass blocking, and I think it's probably 6 and 1, half a dozen the other.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be sad if either one of them left or stayed. I mean, honestly. Is Grant back next year? I would assume. I mean, he's going to be the change of speed back.
He should be. Yeah. There's another question from Manny Emrod 904. He says, how likely do you think we're to re-sign Yeldon? So we kind of grouped those questions together.
I thought Yeldon was going to get cut every season he's been here.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. But, I mean, he did a lot for us this year as far as being the guy when nobody else was there available. So, I mean, I'd like for them to find a spot for him. I have no idea what his contract looks like, but if they could rework it to make a spot for him, I think we should.
I don't think Yeldon's back, and Hyde's okay. He's okay. I mean, Leonard Fournette is your running back, though. If he's healthy, he's getting 28 carries, and Hyde will spell him next year, and Grant will come in, change of pace, but you don't take Lenny out unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
At this point, with what Lenny has given us heart-wise, I think we should ride him for every carry we can. I mean, wear his butt out.
I mean, you got to keep Lenny on the field. He's premier running back in the NFL.
Absolutely.
So he stays. Yeah, I think Yeldon's gone. I think he made himself some money this year, and he's going to go somewhere else and play the exact same role that he played this year. Number 2 running back who can pass block, catch out of the backfield, spell the number 1 when needed. He's going to have a good career, but I just don't think that they're going to keep him. I think Hyde is taking that spot.
I think it goes back to Caldwell. I can't have any bad feelings about Yeldon. He got drafted too high for what he is.
Yeah, I mean, 2nd round pick, early 2nd round pick. So
again, not his fault. Way to get paid, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not his fault, but that's just yet another draft pick of Caldwell's that is going out the door. They drafted him to be the number 1 running back.
Yeah, based on playing behind an offensive
And then they got
line.
Chris Ivory, and then they drafted Leonard Fournette. Nice, Caldwell. Thanks for that.
We'll take Yeldon and the entire Alabama offensive line. Now we're set.
Next question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Bring it.
All right. This one is from Cole Marone, and he's at ColeGuy45. He says, how about Ronnie Harrison's huge game? Is this the start of seeing all the young guys / rookies show out with nothing to lose? With the offense so bad and a defense that can play like this, does this team try to turn it around for next season or rebuild the only option?
I mean, it's a great question. Yes, I think so. Absolutely. We're going to see what they have. But it begs to, dig deeper on if these guys, if Harrison can play that way and Church was looking that bad, the coaches had to have wanted to put him in. So who's really making the calls as far as contracts? Who's being paid more? I mean, are they just scared to lose their jobs so they don't want to bench a guy like Church and put him in earlier? Because, I mean, man, he looked good.
Yeah, but Church looked good last year, though.
But he didn't look good this year.
Yeah, but he's got some parts of his game that are, I still think Church, for whatever you want to say about him, is one of the best man defenders on a tight end at the line of scrimmage. I know it's very specific, but I've seen him blow up Gronkowski at the line of scrimmage. I've seen him play tight ends really well. He just, for some reason, just kind of lost it this year.
But it's because he got slower.
Yeah, maybe he got slower.
Visually, eye test, slower.
I mean, you can't deny that Ronnie Harrison looked a lot better than he did. You can't. But it's just, I don't think it was so much that they were trying to keep their jobs as they were just kind of hoping Church turned it around.
That makes sense.
So that's just what I think. Like I said, I've seen Church play really well.
Let me ask you all this. In terms of the playoffs and anything like that, this season is over for the Jags, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think mathematically they're out, right?
I don't think they are.
I think they're like
yet.
1% or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They're out.
So you're saying
But yeah. But I mean, so they're out. do y'all think Church is coming back next year? The Jags re-signed Church.
No.
Okay, so then what's the point in playing him?
Exactly.
And what's the point in playing? I mean, you could argue the same thing with Malik Jackson. You know,
Yeah, he's had an off year. He has a big contract.
he hasn't started.
Back.
I don't think he started the last 3 games.
He's not going to. I agree. I don't think
So
they're going to.
then let's see more Taven Bryan. That was your first round pick.
Yeah.
And you have guys that aren't going to be there next year. The season's over. Why don't you start investing in the future that is actually the present?
Because I'll tell you why. The exact same thing I said when we drafted him. He's that guy, high school, great upside potential, just raw. College, great upside potential, just raw. Pros, great upside potential, just not doing anything.
Sounds
He's
a
that
lot
guy.
like a guy that plays for the Rams now that was on the Jags earlier.
Well, he
this
actually
year.
did something, though. I mean,
Yeah, he did. I mean, I think
off-the-field stuff.
I have hope for Taven Bryan. I'm saying if you drafted him, and I'm not saying he's like going to be an all-pro, but I'm not. Look, we got to give him a little more time than what he's been given. And that's what I'm saying. Give him more time on the field.
I agree. 29 snaps, though. How many tackles? What do you do?
I don't know. I really don't, because I don't
I didn't
think.
hear his name called.
No, and I'm not saying he's going to be awesome. I'm saying it doesn't make sense to me why if you drafted him in the first round and the season's over and the guy whose position he's theoretically going to take is not going to be on the team next year, why don't you play him?
Because we don't draft good in the first round.
So you're just saying because he's bad.
I think he's not capable.
I don't know.
For whatever reason.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with the whole premise of this. I don't think Malik Jackson's necessarily gone next year. I mean,
I hope not.
he played.
like Malik,
let's see. What did he
I
play?
love Malik.
Malik played in 46 snaps. That's 61%. So I mean, it's a decent amount of snaps. I mean, it's not like he was benched.
Okay, well,
So and he's Malik Jackson's still good. Like I've given him some crap for grading out low, but he's a good player. And he's one of our best guys on the interior rushing the passer for sure. Maybe one of the best in the league. I just don't know how good he is against the run, and you kind of want that with the interior. I mean, Darius played the same amount of snaps, so
well, that's the thing, though. I mean, we got a lot of contracts to deal with next year. Would you let go to Campbell, Darius, or Malik? Out of those three, who do you let go?
I don't think you let any. I mean, you don't necessarily have to let someone go. You can restructure Darius.
I think with Malik, he's one of those guys to me that, I mean, the eye test to me with Malik speaks totally different than the grades that he
I
gets.
agree.
I mean, I feel
agree.
like when you watch him, he is in every play.
Yeah.
He's in every single play. But if we don't know what they're thinking. Maybe they fully intend on bringing him back, but he hasn't started the last 3 games, which to me, when you have a guy that's being paid as much as he is and you're not starting him, to me, the writing's on the wall without a little bit.
But that's the reason they haven't started him. Is yes, last year he played fantastic. Started this year, played fantastic, and then he just fell off a cliff for whatever reason. Not good.
There are a lot of guys like that, though. Like we just talked about that with Church.
Again,
I wouldn't
Same
go so
reason he
far
should
as to
be
say
benched.
that with Malik. That
No, I agree,
he's
yeah.
fallen off the cliff.
But-
I think he's playing good, not as good as last year, but I mean,
No one is.
That was just crazy last year. The only one that's playing,
Campbell and Jalen.
Yeah, that's it.
I'd say Boye has the last couple games.
I don't know,
He's had some
man.
good games the last couple games.
I don't know. He's been kind of disappointing to me. They were just picking on him. I mean, when your options are him or Jalen,
Well, yeah, that's
but
always going to be
still,
the case.
like it. You didn't see T.Y. Hilton did nothing. And then who was the dude that Boye was covering that got like every pass at him? I forgot his name. But-
Rendon or something like that.
Yeah, some guy dude I've never heard
Yeah.
of. But like that's who was getting all the receptions. And I don't know. Boye, I feel like isn't playing up to his contract more so than Malik, in my opinion.
I would agree with that.
And I
But we
like
weren't talking about
Boye.
Boye. We're talking about Malik.
Yeah, you're right. But no, I mean,
Talking about him now.
yeah,
Talk about
Yeah, we
talk
brought
about
him
Boye.
up.
Bring him on.
I don't know. So, yeah, to answer your question, what about this part of his question? Do we try to turn it around next season or do we rebuild?
I think we turn it around.
Turn it around.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, this isn't a rebuild
There's
yet.
too many.
But in which
Yeah.
that kind of goes back to what we were saying. Like, our assumption is that all of these guys with these big contracts are going to be gone. But that is a rebuild move. So if they're not thinking that, maybe they do come back. But it just, to me, all of it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't jive to me that you have Malik Jackson, you're not starting him, yet you're going to keep him next year. Then you have this first-round pick when you could have gotten a tight end, an offensive lineman, a million other people, and you invested in him who's supposed to be the future, and you're not playing him that much. It's just so maybe you're right, Joe. Maybe they just realize that he's a bust first-round pick, and they're just not playing him.
I think what's playing out right now is how the coaches feel. I don't think that has played out before this game. I mean, because there's a lot of changes. I mean, so I think that's what it is. But it is a rebuild. I mean, not a complete teardown. I'm sorry. It is. You tweak things to make it better, because that game also told us that they shut down offense that was on par with Kansas City at that point. I mean, Luck and they've been crushing it. 2 touchdowns averaging the past 4 or 5 games.
Yeah,
and no touchdowns whatsoever. I mean, they absolutely dominated. So that's still the case. It proves that all we need at this point is an offense that can be a little bit better.
yeah. So then the question is,
Let's do it.
how do we go about that? I think we have a Twitter question.
This leads
for
to our
that,
next question.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And this is there's 2 questions about this, so I'm just picking this one, but there's 2. It's a good question from Brad Harvin about we're going quarterback here, just to let y'all know. So start switching your mind to the quarterback thoughts, okay? Brad Harvin had a good one asking about specific veteran quarterbacks, but this question from Papa Echo Tango Echo, which that could mean something, I don't know. And his
Pete.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And he says
James,
that took us way too long to think.
I wasn't even getting there ever.
Niner and I'm an idiot.
Are you calling from Milwaukee, Tommy?
he's at Coach L Tweets. And he says, if the defense can play like this next year, wouldn't it be better to bring in a veteran quarterback and use the draft to load up with weapons as opposed to starting with a rookie?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it really just boils down to what veteran you're talking about, and do you believe in a rookie quarterback in this class? So I think that's really that's a bigger question. I mean, that's I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, but again, who can we get? I'd love to see a vet come in that's decent. But I mean, Flacco, Stafford. I mean,
I don't think Stafford's gonna be available unless you trade for him.
yeah.
And can we afford him?
Yeah, I don't think we can.
Exactly. I mean,
Okay,
If we bring in Flacco, I'm probably gonna cry.
yeah. Okay, let me throw some names out there, and these are just the ones that I'm kind of thinking of here: Flacco, Winston, Foles, Keenum.
Teddy B.
I just threw up my mouth a little bit.
So, what do y'all think?
I think that the only one on that list, well, 2, Jameis and Foles, but that would be for a 1-year, possibly 2-year deal, and then bring somebody in the quarterback draft 2 years from now.
I think Jameis has won his job back in Tampa. He's played pretty well coming back. Foles, I'm worried that Foles was a product of his system and just caught lightning in a bottle. He's been in the league a long time, and suddenly to just go on that run, it wasn't really unlike what Bortles did in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you saw what happened the next season with him. So none of those names, except Teddy Bridgewater, you just don't know what he's going to do once he starts getting hit. So when you start thinking about all those, it's not like last year where you had a Kirk Cousins and an Alex Smith who were on the market and available. Look, good quarterbacks aren't usually available.
Right.
So I think it might be a little bit of wishful thinking to assume that we can go out and just get a good veteran that's going to lead our team. I think the answer might be in the draft, honestly.
I mean, I think the problem is that it doesn't. If we have a good veteran, that's probably not going to fix anything. I mean, with our pass blocking line, our wide receiver options right now, our tight end options right now. I mean, there's maybe 3-4 quarterbacks you could bring in that would make our team good on offense.
That are available?
No, not period.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
period. I mean, I don't even think you could bring Tom Brady into this offense.
What if you load up? What if you load up in the draft at row line and wide receiver?
Exactly. That's what we need to do.
Well, then
And
who
at that
throws the
point,
ball?
Kessler at this point. I mean, whoever.
You want to ride him out for a whole year?
I think that's what it's going to take, possibly. Kessler, and you pick up maybe if we can get Greer at some point later in the rounds. I think that's the only option we have drafting wise that's going to work for us.
I don't think he lasts out of the first
Dude,
round.
they're still putting him in the 3rd round right now.
No,
That's crazy.
0%.
There's
chance.
no way.
Yeah.
They were mocking that as of like a week ago.
No. Sorry, Joey.
Look at the Heisman race.
Sorry.
Where's he
I
out
don't
of that?
What, play 3rd?
No,
No, I don't even think he got invited.
he did not. They don't respect his authority. I mean, come on.
I just think when the clock starts ticking, teams that are desperate are going to make a move, and he's not going to last out of the first round. I really don't.
I think that'll happen too. But like I said, I didn't say it was guaranteed, but I think that's our only shot.
And a lot of these Heisman quarterbacks aren't even coming out to Kyler Murray These two guys aren't coming out, so it's like
Where he is, he's just playing another sport.
right, exactly.
Smart
And there's
man.
rumors that he's going to play another year of football.
Wow.
Oh, not so smart.
Yeah,
No.
But,
That's not
get your
smart.
baseball money now,
right,
bud.
come
Yeah.
on.
But I'm just saying, like, if you're looking at quarterbacks coming out, Herbert. If Herbert doesn't come out, you're looking at Haskins, the guy from Duke, Jones, and then Greer.
Ugh.
I mean, that's pretty.
We're in a tight spot.
Yeah, we always seem to need a quarterback in quarterback terrible drafts. It's
Mhm.
always Jaguars' problem, but
It could be a quarterback thick draft, but we still picked the wrong one.
Actually, we needed a quarterback last year and the year before. We just chose not to get one. Now we need one again, and there isn't one available. So I don't know. Did we answer the question? I mean, there's just not a lot of answers to
yeah,
it.
I mean, Derek Carr. We didn't talk about Derek Carr. Is that
Yeah,
a guy
I
you'd be more
mean-
comfortable with?
I would be.
I would definitely would be.
What about
I mean,
a guy
of
like-
all those
What
names,
about a guy
for
like
sure.
Nick Mullins?
I don't know
Ah,
who that is.
I don't know.
Nick Mullins.
49,
He played
49ers.
Matt Barkley.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No,
he's
my
a
answer
40
no, because I've never heard of him.
He was actually the 49ers' third string, and he's now starting for them. He's played, I mean, pretty well.
Yeah,
As far as I can, as much as I follow the 49ers.
Sounds like you guys are reaching across the room right now.
we are.
I mean,
No, big time. This
Yeah.
is
Because that's
grasping
not
at
the
straws.
answer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to throw somebody else into the mix. I mean, why not just keep Bortles if that's what we're going to do?
Well, they may.
They might, exactly. But
I don't think Bortles gives you anything more than Kessler does. Is the thing.
Right.
I mean, if Bortles is on that team last week, how many points do you think we score? If we replaced Bortles with Kessler,
In the Colts game?
Yeah.
Same.
yeah, I agree.
The only difference is maybe the Colts score because Bortles throws a pick.
six. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. I mean, Kessler didn't have an amazing game, but he didn't. He took care of the ball. 18 for 24, 150 yards, 3 sacks. He had a 90 quarterback rating. So as a passer, I mean, he didn't make mistakes. He didn't turn the ball over. He didn't do dumb stuff. He just checked it down and let the defense win. And then there was drops in that game too. Yeldon had a big drop in that game. So
Here's a name that we didn't throw out there, and to me, it's just another one, but we just didn't mention it. What about Andy Dalton?
I'd be good with that. But again, are they looking to get rid of him? I don't think
Possibly.
so. I mean,
you could probably get Andy Dalton, but
all those guys are stopgaps for a couple of years. I
Yeah.
mean, that's all they are.
That's all you're going to get, though, in free agency, unless you're willing to break the bank for a guy, which we're probably not going to do.
Which then goes back to a question that we asked earlier: is this a blow it up and rebuild or a fix it? And can you fix it with a below average quarterback?
I mean, I guess what's your definition of blow it up and rebuild? I mean, I don't think
Get rid of high contracts, draft a rookie quarterback. Really start from the ground up again.
But I mean, our high contracts are on the one unit that's working. Why would you do that?
Listen, I know. I don't. You wouldn't. I would hope not. But we're just. I feel like we're in a rock and a hard place here.
I mean, you have some big contracts on the offense. Bortles, Linder, Norwell. These guys got pretty big contracts.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean.
I don't think Norwell. I just, man, that's why I'm just ready for this offseason.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
so many questions.
Well, this question kind of goes with it, and this is from Brad Harvin. He's at the rundown_BH. He says, I understand the hype about NFL offensive changes, but I'm old school, and I like the front office mindset with winning with defense, the run game, and ball control. I'm sure I'm in the minority, but that's what wins in January. Hard to do that with a third-string O-line, inadequate quarterback, and bad wide receivers, though.
And I love that question because I agree. I mean, this past week's game, the 6-point win, I'm fine with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's old school football. That's hard-nosed football. It's not exciting, but I mean, everybody loved that Monday night game a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it was fun to watch, but after the game, I felt kind of dirty. Like I'm watching arena ball football or something like that.
And look
That's
how the
not
Saints
real-
lost to the Cowboys. I mean,
Exactly,
Cowboys
man.
shut them down.
That's not real football when you're scoring that many points every game, but it's hard to win with defense now. So if you can do it consistently, I'm all for that style, but I don't see somebody doing that consistently now.
What was the question and all that?
The question was,
Was it more like just in a statement?
yeah, do you agree with Brad when he says that he thinks we should stick with this philosophy that we're on now, which is control the ball, run the ball, and play defense?
I mean, we have to. We don't have a choice.
Yeah, if we don't do that, it is blow it up
Right.
and tear it down.
So we have to be committed to what we've built, which is win with defense and running the ball. We have a premier running back, one of the best running backs in the league when he's healthy. We have one of the best defense that can be the best in the NFL when it decides to be, like it did this past Sunday. So yeah, there's no choice in the matter. You have to be that way because we don't have a quarterback that can sling it. We don't have wide receivers that can catch it. We don't have an offensive line that can protect. So that's where we're at. It's not even really worth, seeing what we could, the other side of it because we can't do that. We're not built that way.
I mean, we could cut our 3D linemen and sign offensive free agents. I mean, we could cut the entire D line, roll into it with Smoot, Taven Bryan, and Avery Jones, and then sign these free agents that are going to be available next year.
And keep our secondary.
Sammy Watkins.
To me, it all boils down to a quarterback, though.
Wait. I like that. I mean, keep our secondary, get rid of them, and beef up the offensive line and get some receivers.
You have to get a quarterback, too, to address that.
That's the thing. You can't do it without a quarterback.
You could have an average to above average quarterback if you do all that.
Thinking Blake Bortles?
No. I love Blake, man. Let's go have a beer. But no, I think we've mentally crushed that guy.
He needs a change of scenery.
He does. I hope he goes somewhere.
Yeah.
He'll get it.
Back up.
Yeah.
He'll get it. Guy gets hurt. He steps in and does a good job, man.
Without a
He
doubt.
deserves it. But the same thing with Kessler, man. I wish our offense are on nobody right now. I mean, it's just a kill shot.
This question's from Gaz Hughes, and is at Tronulus.
All right.
That's a new one. Like first time commenting?
First time.
Yeah.
He says, shutout is great, but we're not Saxonville from last year. However, the D-line was great. He wants to know Church or no, and O-line has a bunch of issues and is the best we hope for that we're going to win with field goals.
I mean, the best we can hope for is winning. And if it's by field goals, so be it. Church or no? No.
Yeah. No.
Church, definitely no. I mean, Lambeau's one of our best players, most consistent players. So if we put him in a position to do that and our defense plays like that, it's a win.
But we're literally half a yard away from losing. If the Colts convert that 4th and inches on the goal line, and if Yannick Ngakoue doesn't read that shovel pass and tackle the guy from behind, then it's 7-6 and we lose.
Yeah, but we've been one play away from winning like 3 or 4 games this season. So
I mean, we're obviously you can't win like that every single week. If I was thinking about this before we started recording tonight, if the Jags were 8-3 and won that game, it would have been awesome.
Yeah.
But at
like
3-8,
it'd be like the Bills playoff game.
right? At 3-8, it's like, okay, we won, but we couldn't even score a touchdown. I mean, yeah, it was great. The defense played lights out, but you cannot ask your defense to pitch a shutout every single week. We saw what happened when that, and it resulted in a 3-8 record. So I just I don't even remember what the question is, but
listen to this. Listen to these guys on the offense. These are our top contributors: Eric Flowers, Patrick Omame, Ben Koyak, Blake Bell, Carlos Hyde. Like,
was Patrick Omame on the Giants too to start this season?
I think so.
So we have,
Absolutely. No, we got him back from the Giants.
unbelievable.
So I mean,
Coughlin's got the hookup.
are you kidding me? Like O'Shaughnessy, Flowers, Omame, like these are supposed to be. Why is Blake Bell on the team? Like, of course our offense isn't producing. We have guys that are joining the team halfway through the season, are our best players.
Right.
Moncrief just passed Yeldon as our number 1 receiver.
God, that's terrible.
I mean, Yeldon's not that good. I mean, come on. That's like, come on.
Yeah, the injuries have taken its toll.
So how about this? Let's say, okay, let's just fast forward to next season. You have a healthy Marquise Lee, healthy Cam Robinson, healthy Corey Grant. How do they go about addressing the offensive woes? Is it in the draft? Is there some, do they get a free agent wide receiver that is more than a Dante Moncrief? Because I think we can all agree that he's not going to be back next year. Where do they go?
I mean, the line, a right guard, you should be able to get a right guard that can play and be serviceable easily. I mean, quarterback's going to be tough. Wide receiver's going to be tough. We have the run game at that point. I mean, that Austin Sperry-Jenkins coming back. I mean, I think he
Yeah,
could be
that's another
serviceable
one.
in that.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
I think those components can be wide receiver and quarterback. I mean, really.
Well, let's say the Jags, right now they're sitting in the 9th spot for the draft. Number 9 overall. And let's say Herbert does go to the draft and he gets picked, but every other quarterback is on the board. Haskins, Greer, whatever. Do they go quarterback right then, or do they go? Where do they go?
Absolutely quarterback. If
Yeah.
that's available.
If all those guys are available, I think if Haskins is available, they take Haskins
And for the
and Herbert.
the non-football league, who's he play for?
Is Ohio State's
State.
quarterback.
Ohio State?
I think Haskins and Herbert. If Herbert comes out, I think those are you take them if you need a quarterback. Everyone else, including Greer,
You wouldn't take Greer at 9 with what we're dealing with.
man, I would have to do more research, man. I couldn't give you an answer on that right
He's
now.
6'2", 223.
That doesn't mean
That's
anything
why
to
they're
me.
Talking, but that's why he's dropping in the rounds.
Which makes no sense to me.
But
I mean,
all he's done. I mean, it's like Drew Brees. All right, sorry, buddy, we don't want you.
well,
I mean-
how tall is Deshaun Watson? That sounds like he's bigger than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not a runner. I mean, he can move a little bit.
No, but I just
thrower.
what I mean is the days of this tall quarterback to me is so
But
overrated.
that's what they've been doing, though. I mean, it's worked. I mean, look at Mitch Trubisky, Wentz. I mean, all the guys that are balling right now, they're prototypical. That's why those guys. That's all they're looking for.
Baker Mayfield.
And nobody wanted to take him.
Yeah,
Cleveland had
and
to.
he hasn't been great this
Nobody
year.
wanted to take Deshaun Watson. I mean,
Look how they're doing.
exactly.
That's what
So
I'm saying.
If
Like,
Greer's
I
there
think
at
it's
9, and we don't take him.
There's also guys like Mariota.
I want to watch the draft with Joey just for that to see
I
your
will
reaction.
Lose my mind.
Yeah, well,
I mean, if they take another quarterback and not Greer, you'll be happy.
I think if there's
Okay.
good quarterback,
So it's not just Greer, just quarterback.
I just think he might be the only one that is available when we can get him.
There's only a couple teams ahead of the Jags right now slated that you absolutely believe would take a quarterback. Giants. I mean, the Giants. I don't have the list off the top of my head. I think one other one, really.
We did say that like you had the list pulled up.
we talked about the
I have it.
Bucks at one point.
Yeah, I
are
really think
they-
Jameis is going to be back. I think he's going to be back. If it was a different draft class, maybe, but okay, here I have the list now. 49ers, no. Raiders, that's the big one right there.
Probably.
Probably. Then you get, what do you do with Derek Carr there? That gets interesting. Cardinals, I would say no.
No, there's no way.
Jets, no. Falcons, no. Lions, no. Giants, yes.
Lions, no.
No. I mean, I think they're. And then the Bills, no. And then the Jags. So really the only team. So there's really only one team that you can really put all the chips on the table that's going to go after a quarterback, and that's the Giants. And look, the Giants have 4 wins, same as the Jags. So if they win one more game than us going the rest of the way, these last 4 games, then we jump them. So we're actually sitting a lot prettier in terms of drafting a quarterback and with that top pick than I thought. Will Greer. Right, Joey?
I mean, he's done nothing but prove himself, and he's got a chip on his shoulder. You know, I love that.
If the Jags draft Will Greer, how fast are you going to get on a Chinese website and order a jersey?
Immediately. It might have the wrong number on it. I'll get it so quick.
Right.
Will you buy him steroids?
Whatever. I won't, but I mean,
Any supplements?
Would I have a problem with it? No. I mean, obviously he's doing. Well, he's only 6'2", 223. I mean, I think it's kind of a hoax. He was taking like deer antler oil or whatever. Ray Lewis, it's your fault, buddy.
Deer antler spray. All right, so this next question is from Shay Jacobs, and he's at sjacobs11. He asks, better defensive performance, the Jets game or the Colts game?
Colts.
Colts by far.
Now, hold on. Don't be so quick. Because if you remember, when we beat the Jets, we won 31-12. Okay, so we didn't have the ball as much because we were scoring touchdowns and we were giving them more opportunities. And we were 3-1 at that point. That feels like so long ago. Bortles was 29 for 38, 388 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. TJ Yeldon, 18 carries, 52 yards and a touchdown. D.D. Westbrook, 9 receptions, 130 yards.
My ticket guy actually hooked me up for tickets to that game, so I was there. And the Colts was definitely a better defensive performance. I mean, solely the fact that they were on the field more tired. And the fact that the Colts offense is way better than the Jets. So, absolutely the Colts game.
It was a shutout. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
shutout. They
That
didn't score a
is-
point.
yeah,
That's
that-
so hard to do in the NFL.
They blanked them.
So hard to do.
Yeah. Okay.
But that second point, I would love to talk about D.D. Westbrook with those yards and that, because I can't fathom why that guy's not getting more looks. I don't know. I mean, he must suck at practice. It must be awful.
I don't think it's that. I think it's the offensive line of the quarterback play.
Yeah. There's no time for him to get open. I mean, the only receptions they're completing are checkdowns to running backs.
The one that he did catch, Kessler got crushed on.
Yeah, he had to hang
Which
in there.
kudos to him for hanging in there and making that throw. But I just think there's a quarterback in no time.
Yeah, I mean,
Fair enough.
the whole time I was just thinking, this guy's got no time. I feel so bad for him, but he did it. He did what he had to do. He didn't turn the ball over. He managed the game. That's all it takes.
I absolutely loved, which I'll find a picture of it and post it, is they're walking off the field through the tunnel, and you got touchdown Tommy, like, slapping him on the back, shoulder pad grab, like, good job, bro. Like, that was super cool, man.
Oh, for Kessler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
His first win ever. That's
As a starter. Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, this is our last question. No, it's not. It's not our last question.
No.
That's a lie. This is our there's one more talking about the Jets I'm sorry.
That was awful.
Can we do that? It's late. It's been a long day.
No joke.
We've been here a long time. All right. This is our last question about this last week.
Wait. So is it our last question or our last question about last week?
This is our last question about last week.
Gotcha.
And there's one more question about the next week game coming up.
Oh, okay.
All right. This is from Angus Seymour. And he's
That
at
is the best ever.
He's at Das Gus. And he says, would you rather rewatch yesterday's game or spend an hour in the dog park?
Angus. James, you take this one.
Oh, man. That's the best question we've ever had.
By a Viking.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
For real. I would actually, if I had to choose, I would want to watch the game again, just because that's just my pure hatred over that dog park. But imagine if you had to watch the game from the dog park.
Oh my gosh, that'd be terrible.
Yes, that would be. No, I don't. I wouldn't. I'm ready to move on from both of those for sure. That's a great question.
I rewatched the game today,
Of course you did.
and it was actually pretty good. If you watch it on condensed, where they take out the commercials and like the replays and just go play to play, it's pretty fun game to watch. The defense plays really well, and you realize how bad Logan Cook played. I mean, he was terrible. I don't know how they didn't score on us. We didn't have any good punts in that game, so it was a good game to watch though.
I've never in my life come close to falling asleep during a Jags game, and I don't know because I was just extra tired on Sunday, but I almost fell asleep watching that game. I really did. I was like, we something's got to happen here offensively.
I think you nailed it earlier, though. I mean, if that game mattered, you wouldn't have had a problem with it.
No, I would have
And
loved
that's
it.
the thing. The game wasn't bad. I don't mind that style of football, and we won. So, yeah, I mean, I'd watch it again. I'd watch that 1,000 times versus some of our losses.
Well, yeah, of
And I'm not
course.
going to mention the dog
Yeah.
park because
Yeah.
I'm pretending that's not there.
Only one more home game left of that dog park. Hopefully, if it comes back next year, I'm gonna be like Joey in the Jags not drafting Will Grier in the third round when he's still available. That's how I would compare it to.
For those of you that don't know, if you're a season ticket holder, you have like a ticket rep, right? And he like will call you, or she will call you every once in a while to like,
People
you know.
just like questionnaires.
yeah,
like,
they ask you. And I always take it, and I always say my only complaint is I hate the dog park
It's awesome.
every single time.
Next time they call you, you say, "Hey, level with me. Have you gotten any more complaints? Like, just be real."
Yeah.
How much money is whoever responsible?
Paradise.
Yeah, Pet Paradise.
giving you?
Yeah. So it's a good question there, Angus. All right, so this is our last question. This is about the upcoming week. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Would you consider this our preview of the Titans Jags game?
Yep.
Okay, here it is, everybody.
Yep. Here's our
Segue.
preview.
Whoever this is.
This is from Josh Hampton, and he's at the Josh Hampton with 2 E's.
Not the other one.
Nope. And he says, "What do you expect from this Thursday's game?"
I think it's going to look a lot like the Colts Jags game. Not a lot of offense, a lot of defense. Not pretty.
But you got to remember, guess who's gonna be back in the lineup?
That's right, Lenny.
Big Lenny, 27.
That's right.
He's gonna be back in the lineup. Does that changes our offense?
Oh, big time.
So I think we could probably score a touchdown or two with Lenny.
Well, let's put it this way: is Lenny going to be back, or is Leonard going to be back? Who's just worried about Miles on his knees?
Lenny.
All right, Lenny's going to be there. Good.
And also something to consider. This will be Kessler's second start, which is different.
Not a lot of time in between. Like,
not a lot of time, but I think nerves more than anything. Even on the road, I think sometimes you can. I know it's whatever hostile environment, all that stuff, but I think it can sometimes be a little. Maybe I don't know. Am I totally wrong? It'd be a little less when it's not your home field and your home fans and not wanting to get booed off the field by your own.
Maybe.
I don't know. It could be.
Maybe. I think there is something about the familiarity of playing, a second game for sure.
I mean, I stopped listening halfway through that. That was fantastic. Like, I'm a homer stretch. Let's make some good points for the Jags.
So you tell us, Joey, what's going to happen on Thursday then.
Dude,
if you're just so objective.
Yes.
So you tell us.
It's a short week.
Pro Bowl, but Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
It's a short
5,000 yards passing, 50 touchdowns.
Well, I mean, you said yourself he was soft. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
It's a short week.
I'd be realizing it now.
We're playing away. It's going to be cold. New offensive coordinator, new quarterback. Dude, it's not going to be pretty. And the Titans, they have our number every time.
If there's a game we're going to win, though, it's the one that hurts us. If there's a game that we're going to beat the Titans, it's going to be the one that we shouldn't win and the one that helps us more if we lose. And that's the game we're going to beat the Titans in.
Well, that's a fair point.
That makes sense.
It does, actually. But no.
No, I've been saying for a while this game scares me.
We said at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I mean it's Thursday games for the road team are not easy to win, and especially when it's against a team that absolutely has your number.
Plus, they're playing for a playoff spot. We're not. I mean,
we have nothing to lose though, and just something about the way they played last week was just completely different than how they played all season.
It was like the first time they played free.
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean. Telvin and Miles Jack were completely different players on Sunday. The first time Telvin did anything good all year. I mean, yeah, he did. He had some good plays, but the first time he played a complete game, start to finish, where you're like, Telvin dominated at the linebacker position.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I mean, they were just stroking people, man. I mean, I haven't seen them hit like that all year. Like, where has this been? Like, I'm so glad Ngakoue just woke up. Like, thank you. This is what we've been wanting y'all to do all year. Like, that hit that Ramsey had at the end, I didn't realize that because he hit him backwards, the ref called the forward progress inbounds. So even though he landed out of bounds, the ref called it a forward progress because Ramsey hit him like 3 yards backwards.
Yeah, after the game, like all the experts, you would say, said that was the right call. They just don't usually call it that way.
I've never seen it called like that.
So, I mean, that was the accurate call, but you never see that. So, I mean, whoever that ref was nailed it.
Yeah, thanks, ref. We appreciate it. Not that they would have won or anything. It was only could have been a Hail Mary or something.
Hey, you don't
we'll take it. You never know. Yeah, you don't want to give them the opportunity for sure. But going back to the original question, Titans Jags. I think Titans win. I don't think it's necessarily going to be a blowout. I think it'll be a close game. They usually are. Well, I don't know if they are with the Titans. It hasn't been last year. I don't know. The Titans are. If there was any other team, I would be tempted to pick the Jags, but the Titans just have our number. And again, Kessler, backup quarterback, banged up offensive line, no receivers really.
Like we'll
see. I mean, the defense is gonna have to play another lights out game for sure. Joe, you're saying about to say something that I said something smart.
You said something, like you nailed it. Like,
okay, go ahead.
Very smart. If it was anybody else, I don't care anybody else other than the Titans. After the performance we had and it being Thursday night and the guys we have on our team wanting to show out, I'd say that we'd win. But I'm not saying it. I cannot say it.
Let me just give you this little piece of information.
Hopefully this makes me say it.
3 weeks ago, the Titans played the Colts. And guess how many points the Colts scored on the Titans?
87.
38.
Oh, that's close.
38. So.
Yeah, the Colts have a good offense.
And the Jets.
Do? Because the Colts team I watched didn't.
The Jets almost beat the Titans on Sunday.
26-22.
Should have, really.
Yeah.
We almost beat the Titans earlier in the season.
I know, I'm just saying.
I don't think the Titans are any good.
Trying to stoke the fire.
I think we'll beat the Titans.
I hope so. Oh, man.
I will never pick the Jags to beat the Titans until we beat them.
If we beat, I'm in the same boat right now. If we beat the Titans and that causes them to miss the playoffs, this season isn't all a loss.
No, yeah, that's absolutely right.
You know,
yeah,
I would be so happy.
I mean, that'd make me happy. That'd be great.
That'd be amazing. Just gonna have a cup of coffee around like 5:00 on Thursday.
It's pretty cool to be a Thursday night game though.
Yeah, Let's hope I can stay up, man. It's like an 8:20 kick. This games take forever to get started.
Oh.
It was I will say it was kind of funny listening to Joe Buck try and promote the game on Fox on Sunday. Like, all right, the Jags just shut out the Colts 6-0, and Titans just beat the Jets. So that's happening on Thursday.
Hear him like put his hand over his mic and be like, "Why did they flex this game?"
Right. So yeah, hey, but it's a Jaguars game. We're gonna watch.
Absolutely.
We're gonna watch every second of it.
And we're gonna record a podcast next week.
Yes, we are.
Because we always do.
That's right.
We don't
Every
take
single
weeks off.
week.
Yeah.
Because we're nearing 50, and we're gonna get there. You guys have any closing remarks? Anything you'd like to just end with?
I just don't think all hope's not lost. I mean, I think there's a lot of people out there, which, I mean, rightfully so, are just beat down from this season. But we have talent. We're going to turn around.
I would have said this before the Colts game, but I'll say it now. I don't think last year was a fluke. I think this year is a fluke.
I think so, too.
I really do. We do need to, obviously, we need a quarterback. So that's a huge, huge question mark. But I think we turned it around quick. I really do.
I mean, we gambled on Blake, and we got tons of injuries. So, I mean, I think it was a fluke. We'll be all right, guys. Heads up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you're right.
Come on, Jason. Get on board. It's Christmas.
Look, I'm with you guys, man. I think we're going to turn it around. But, I mean, the elephant in the room is the quarterback. You even said. I mean, you can have an amazing team.
You're saying that we could have had an elephant at quarterback and done better than Blake?
Would that be a
It's a low blow.
You can have 20.
Oh,
you
nice.
can have 21 amazing players on your team, but if that quarterback isn't serviceable, it doesn't matter, and that's the NFL.
Absolutely right.
So there's a lot of avenues we can address this, but we see it all over the league. Good teams consistently have good quarterbacks, and bad teams consistently have bad quarterbacks. So, yeah, I mean, all of this is for nothing, and unless we can fix this quarterback situation.
Time will tell. Time will tell. I think that wraps it up for episode 46. We'll see what happens. We have a game coming up quick, so listen to this episode before Thursday and get ready. It's a Thursday night game at Tennessee, our bitter rivals. Let's see if the Jazz can make it 2 in a row in the win column. We'll see what happens. As always, go Jags.